If you're thinking about moving to Huntsville, Alabama, there are a few things people talk about all the time: the jobs, the growth, and the quality of life. But there are also a few things that catch people completely off guard after they get here. In this video, I'm breaking down the biggest pros and cons of living in Huntsville in 2026 so that you can decide if it's the right move for you and your family. And if you're thinking about relocating to Huntsville, Madison, or anywhere in the Tennessee Valley, I help people just like you every single week make that transition as smooth as possible. Whether you're moving here for Redstone Arsenal, a defense contractor, tech job, or engineering job, or just looking for a better quality of life, we'd love to help. You can schedule a free relocation strategy call using the link in the description below, and we'll help you build a plan that's customized to your goals, timeline, and your budget. So go ahead, click the link in the description. All right, so we're going to jump right in. The pros and cons of living in Huntsville in 2026. I did a video on this a couple years ago. Some things have changed. Some things have gotten better. Some things have gotten worse. But all in all, Huntsville's still a great place to live. We're going to go over the pros and cons of why. All right, so this is just an overview. These are the pros and the cons. And all in all, by the end of the video, you'll be able to have a clearer picture on whether Huntsville is a great fit for you and your family and your family's lifestyle. So we're going to break down each one of these. The first pro is that Huntsville has a strong economy, and the job growth here is crazy. So as you probably know, you've probably heard, Huntsville has been number one on all kinds of different charts because of the growth here, the job security, just the wide array of places to work. If you're in any kind of defense contracting, civilian job, aerospace, cybersecurity, any kind of tech, engineering type thing, Huntsville is a great place because there's just a ton of those type of positions here, and it's only growing. As you know, Space Command's coming here, should be here by 2030, I believe. And so they're slowly filling those billets as they become available. But FBI has been here. They moved to headquarters here from Washington, D.C. a couple years ago. They're still expanding. And so if any of these type of jobs is something that you've done in the past, and when you're looking for a new place to live that has great potential, then Huntsville is a great place to look at. These are the type of high-paying jobs that people will come to Huntsville for, because I'm an example of one person that's done that. I moved my family here in 2011 from Lower Alabama for a job here, and one thing that's happened to me is the contracts that I was on, my company lost them, or they cut some positions, and I was one of them, and I was able to move to other positions with other companies around Huntsville. And over time I just decided that wasn't the thing, because it happened a couple times. That wasn't the thing I wanted to do anymore, and so I decided to do real estate, but which is also a very lucrative job to do here in Huntsville, just because of the housing market and how stable it's been over the last 5 years compared to other places. But there was a time where I was doing defense work, and it was great for my family, and I enjoy doing that type of work. And it's just a great place if this is the skills that you have. Like I said, these are the type of jobs: aerospace, defense, cybersecurity, engineering, advanced manufacturing. We've got the Toyota Mazda plant here, Blue Origin, those type of companies that are doing manufacturing here in town. There's also all kinds of other things like Amazon and Facebook data center and things like that. But the job growth here has been crazy, and it's just a great place to work. So pro number 2, I know it's getting more expensive here in Huntsville. Average sales prices are anywhere between $350, $450, depending on where you live. But you still get way more house for the money compared to other places, especially like Washington, D.C., or Colorado, Dallas, Chicago, Atlanta, Houston. there's space there too, and I'm sure it's way more expensive than here in Huntsville. But you get bigger lots, bigger houses. You probably can build a house here in Huntsville. Like I said, I put out a video a couple weeks ago where the average sales price for a new construction is less than $400,000, and that's with over 200 sales in the month of May. And so you can get a brand new house in that 350 range, have really cool amenities in that neighborhood, pool, gym, that type of thing. And you probably spend $1 million for that somewhere else. So it's pretty. These are the costs I was talking about. It's pretty good compared to other cities. But you can get a really nice starter home, 3 to 4 bedroom, 2 bath or so for $350. If you're in a starter home and you want to move up 4 or 5 bedroom or a nicer neighborhood that has great amenities, then you can move into something about $500,000 and have a great house at that price point. Or if you want something more luxury, you want to live on a golf course, gated community, have really, really high-end products in your house, then you can get into something maybe $700,000 or more. There are golf courses in gated communities in East and South Huntsville, Hampton Cove area, and those are great places to live if you want that type of lifestyle. And the third pro, it's family friendly oriented. I mean, everything about Huntsville so far that I've raised all 3 of my kids here. My oldest was 3 years old when we moved here. Youngest was 6 months, and they have really enjoyed their life growing up here in the Huntsville area. We used to do a lot of running, do races every weekend. The running community here is great. They have all kinds of different things for kids to do. They have fun runs before 5Ks and just give ways to volunteer, to help pass out water and Gatorade. Just give them ways to meet new people and do something that's healthy. So, but they really enjoyed that. They still talk about it. This past week, Renee said something about doing races when they were younger, and they just really enjoyed it. But they played soccer, they did gymnastics, tumbling. They've danced for almost 10 years now. And there's just tons of things to do. If you want to do more of the educational stuff, you can go to Space and Rocket Center. There's a museum in Decatur, early works in downtown Huntsville. They've just really enjoyed, growing up here in the Huntsville area. Popular family areas, top-rated schools. You hear Madison City schools are, one of the top-rated school systems in America. Jones Valley, really nice area. We like to go there. There's a lot of nice scenery. You can go eat at some of the places there and look at the mountains. Hampton Cove, golf courses, trails, mountain views, South Huntsville. You got it's a diverse. You got some older houses with new construction. There's a lot of new businesses going in over there, and it says right here I got close to the Arsenal, but pretty much anywhere in the Huntsville area is close to the Arsenal. So if you work on Redstone, we're going to talk about commutes here in a minute, but that's one of the criteria you need to think about when you move to Huntsville is and you work on Redstone. It's like, how far do I want to drive every day? And then you can come up with a area that meets your goal for that. But there's 5 to 6 gates that stay open most of the time, and so it's really anywhere in the Huntsville area is close to Huntsville. It's just like anything, you're going to have difference based on where you choose to live and the time of day you go into work. And gate 9 is a little bit more backed up than the other gates, so it's just something that you have to take into account for when you looking to move here. All right, big city opportunity, small city feel, shorter commutes. I know a lot of people complain about traffic here, and I know it's worse than it was 10 years ago. There's way more people living here, but still, you can get anywhere in the Huntsville area, I believe, in about 30 to 35 minutes. My kids work in Northeast Huntsville. We live in South Madison. It takes them about 22 minutes to get to work. Allie and Morgan, they dance at Buckhorn Dance Team takes them about 32 minutes or so to get there from South Madison. So not that far. Come in with the expectation you can get to anywhere 30 to 35 minutes. And if you're coming from somewhere where commutes are an hour long, it shouldn't be an issue. Yes, there's on 72 and stuff, there's a lot of traffic lights that causes a lot of that backup and stuff, and especially on the interstate going west, seems like during rush hour going towards Decatur, traffic is backed up. But if you come in with the expectation it's going to take you 30 minutes to get somewhere, you should be good. It's not, in my opinion, it's not that bad. I come from a place where you're not going very far, but it takes you 30 minutes to get anywhere just because of traffic lights and the way that, Dothan, the circle, that's just the way that city's laid out. It does create more traffic. Outdoor recreation. I believe at one time Montesano State Park had the number 2 most mileage for trails in the country. I'm not sure if that's true now, but I know at one time it was. But Montesano State Park has a ton of trails. Then you got Land Trust that's also on Montesano. But a lot of people will go up there and hike, run, bike. I've run those two, Montesano and Land Trust, probably thousands of miles up there and spent, a ton of time out there. And it's just a great place to enjoy. There's all types of lookouts, and you get down in the bottom of the mountain, you can look up and see all kinds of stuff. There's waterfalls when it rains. It's just a great place to be. And there's other places around town that have little hills. There's one off of Hughes Road, Blevins Gap in southeast Huntsville. That's Rainbow Mountain on Hughes, and then a couple other little mountains around town that you can hike on and stuff. And then people also on the Tennessee River, they get out on their boat and things like that, and kayak, and a lot of places to eat along the Tennessee River in Decatur, Ditto's Landing. You can go out to Scottsboro. And I've even seen videos on YouTube of where people will start in Huntsville on their jet ski and ride out to Chattanooga and spend the night there and then come back the next day. But there's just a lot of outdoor things to do, and it's something that me and my family have done over the years, and we just really enjoy doing that. So, and also the growing entertainment. Orion Amphitheater is great. We're going to go see Creed there in about a month. We've just been to a couple concerts there over the last 6 months to a year or so. Von Braun Center always has something going on, from concerts to comedy shows, car shows. They have all kinds of stuff there. There's places to have company events and things like that. But those are the two places that, if you're a concert goer, it's since we've moved here, there's been all kinds of big names that have come here, and it's been awesome coming from where we came from, where you had to drive 2 to 3 hours to see somebody. You can drive 20 minutes to the VBC and see somebody. So there's also a comedy club. There's just all kinds of things to do around town. We go to comedy shows at Levity Live quite often, and I don't know. It's the entertainment seems to have gotten better over the last 5 years with the addition of Orion, and there's all kinds of different things that are added to VBC which is going to bring more. So it's 3 of the reasons we love living here, and but with anything, it's not perfect. So the next 3 are going to be the 3 cons of living in Huntsville, and of course these are all going to be different. One of these don't really pertain to my family just because we don't partake in that, but I've heard from people that live here, and we'll go over those right now. But number 1 con, traffic is getting worse. It is, but it's still not that bad. Like I said earlier, go drive in LA or Atlanta or Chicago. I've done a couple trips to Atlanta this year, and one time I was going 16 miles, and it took me an hour and 15 minutes to go that 16 miles. And that won't happen here unless there's a bad accident on the interstate. But like I said earlier, the main I-565 traffic problem is going west during rush hour in the evening. For some reason, it seems like everybody's going to Decatur or County Line Road or something, or out west, and it seems to be. I go east almost every day, taking the kids to dance about that time, and east is wide open. But for some reason, the west is backed up. It's probably going to get better now that they're widening 565 past exit 7, County Line Road. But we'll see. It may get better. Highway 72, like I mentioned, it's the stoplights. You get down past Providence, Texas Roadhouse, that area, going west towards Academy and Lowe's and Home Depot, and it gets kind of bad there. 255, it's gotten better. Research part, it's gotten better since they widened that to 3 lanes. I remember when I first moved here and it started getting bad, especially coming out of the Arsenal, Gate 9. It used to be bad when it was just 2 lane, but the three lanes has made it better. There's still days where it's kind of yo-yo, but for the most part, it's good. County Line Road it's growing. There's just a lot of people in that area now, and traffic lights cause people to slow down and back up a little bit. But it's getting worse, but it's still not bad. Now, if Huntsville were to go from 233,000 like we're at now to 500,000, we'd have a problem. But I think if we stay within the range that we're at now, I think the infrastructure, as it continues to get better, hopefully everything will work out. I know there's people that are always negative, and they'll say traffic is horrible and it's going to get worse and we're not going to be able to move and all that. But yeah, my opinion is not that bad, but yes, traffic has gotten worse in the last 15 years. All right. Yep. The good news, the city and state are actively investing in road improvements, like we've seen of the widening of 255 and 565 and the widening of Zernt Road, and there's just all kinds of different projects that are happening. I know people hate it while it's being done, but afterwards it makes travel better. And the more people that move here, the more investment they're going to put into this city. So, to try to fix these things. And hopefully that's something that continues. As Huntsville continues to grow, hopefully the people within the state that, Department of Transportation and everything, they see that, there's a problem, they'll hopefully fix it. And hopefully the funds are there to create the solutions for these things. But all right, con number 2, summer heat is no joke. This is Alabama. For some reason today, at 9 o'clock this morning, it was 67 degrees. I don't know what's going on, but usually we're in the high 80s, mid 90s. Heat index is over 100. There is humidity here. It's not as bad as South Alabama because South Alabama, you're near the ocean. It is pretty humid here, and it's hot. We'll see in July and August how hot it really gets. For June, this has been a mild summer so far. There haven't been many days that the kids can go swim. It's just been a really weird year where, like I said, today the high is 80. But I don't know that it'll get to that. We've had a lot of overcast days, a lot of rain. Rain didn't come in April, it came in May, and it's continued to rain through June. So it's been a very mild summer so far. But I'm sure that just means that July and August are going to be even worse. But yes, it's hot here. You got to get acclimated, especially if you're from out like Midwest area. I went to officer candidate school when I was in the Army in Fort McClellan, Anniston area, and I know when on that first day there were people that were from the Midwest, Northwest, Washington State. They came here and it completely destroyed them, with the humidity and how hot it was there in August. So you need to prepare for that. You need to make sure you are on top of your hydration, and because it can sneak up on you. You don't realize how hot it is, and if if you're not hydrated, it could cause a lot of issues. So it's just something you have to be aware of when you move here. It does get hot whenever it finally gets hot. We'll see when that is this year. Like it says here, July and August can be brutal. Rest of the year, it's okay. It gets pretty cold in the winter. Snows a couple times. But yeah, a lot of it's weather. A lot of this weather stuff. There's tornadoes here. There was a couple yesterday here in this area. That happens during the summer. So a lot of it's April time frame, May, June. It's when a lot of the severe weather happens. Fluctuation of temperatures and things like that, atmospherics for this area, causes a lot of severe weather. Luckily, yesterday there was nothing too bad. A couple blown over trees and fences and stuff like that, but can happen. If you remember back in 2011, in April or so, can happen. There was a lot of tornadic activity in April of 2011 here in the Huntsville area. But that's what you can expect for this area. Got to get comfortable with the threat of tornadoes and what comes with that. All right, and then con number 3, entertainment nightlife are limited compared to major cities. Like I said, this is not a huge issue to me. It's growing. There are like nightclubs and things like that in this area, but it's not anything compared to Nashville or Atlanta. They're trying to get some of that going in the downtown area, but of course I don't really partake in that, so I don't know how it's grown. But I have heard from past clients and stuff that it's not anything compared to some of the major cities, and for some people that's okay. Nashville's not that far away. 2 hours gets you into downtown, and you can spend the night there on Broadway, and then come back to Huntsville and not pay those Nashville prices for for a house. So, yeah, it's not a big deal to me, but some people it is, and it's probably getting better. But I've heard this before that the nightlife here is not that great. But if that doesn't pertain to you and you're more family oriented, then it's not a big deal. But what Huntsville does offer is different places. You got Stovehouse. There's different restaurants and breweries and things like that at Campus 805, and that's actually a pretty cool area to go. My kids like to go there for prom and homecoming dinners and things like that. And then Pints and Pixels is there at Campus 805, and you can go play pinball and arcade games and stuff, and then eat. Orion Amphitheater, like I've mentioned earlier, a lot of great concerts and comedy shows and all kinds of events that happen there. So you should probably get on the Orion Amphitheater website just to see what events they have there. Same with Von Braun Center. I know there's a car show coming up at Von Braun Center soon. And then Mid-City, it's a mixture of restaurants. They got a Top Golf there. There's a rock climbing place, all kinds of different things there. Dave and Buster's. But that's what Huntsville does have to offer. Who Huntsville is perfect for: defense, aerospace, tech professionals, value-focused buyers. Like I said, very affordable housing for what you get, and then people that want to see this place grow. Families seeking community. We homeschooled our kids. They didn't go to public school past the second grade. My oldest went to second grade. And there's all kinds of homeschool communities here. There's co-ops. There's churches that have homeschool days and things like that. And it's just a great place to find community, no matter what your community is. Running community. There's like martial arts community here. All kinds of different things. If you're into something, there's probably a community, a group of people that like to do what you like, and you can spend time with those type of people. But, like I said, there's just somebody else or some other community within Huntsville that, will take you in. It's just a great place that meets all of these needs for all types of different people. So, all right, who may want something different? Nightlife seekers, Nashville's probably your place. Public transit reliant. There is Uber, Lyft. There is a small bus route. Most of that's on 72. But the infrastructure is really not there all across town. Well, there's definitely no subway or, like the rail or whatever in Chicago. Heat sensitive people. Yeah. It gets hot here. You need to learn to deal with that if you want to live here. And then dense urban living preferred. Yeah. Walkable urban density. It's not, Huntsville tries, but it's kind of spread out. So yeah, there's not, a lot to do in a small compact area. Unless you want, like Huntsville's trying to do it, the downtown Huntsville area, they're trying to connect, they're building this bridge, that sky bridge that goes from downtown to Low Mills. So they're trying to be able to allow people to walk to certain places. But, it's not there yet. But it might get there. But you can go into downtown, you can get to the Von Braun Center, the different eating establishments that are downtown, things like that. And you can walk that area. But if you want to get, to somewhere else, you're going to have to drive. It's kind of, it is kind of, not densely all in together. So, but is it worth moving to Huntsville? In my opinion, yes. Strong economic growth. We didn't see a lot of the downturn when it came to real estate here in Huntsville. Like the job growth here in Huntsville has greatly affected the real estate market. Like it's been steady for like the last 6-7 years. Quality of life is great. If you like outdoors and low cost of things, and it's the quality of life here is pretty great. So yeah, in my opinion, yes, it's worth moving to. And if you're thinking about moving to Huntsville, there's different ways that we can help you. You can call me 256-542-0226. You can also click the link in the description, set up a strategy call, and we can help you get ready to relocate here. We can do neighborhood guides, our tours where you can see what the neighborhood looks like. Of course, we can look at all types of properties. Remote, I can do video, we can do Zoom, things like that. But I also can do area tours. I can go to like Town Madison, Cliff Farm, so you can see those areas. Only thing that we probably couldn't do is Redstone tours. It's going to have to be done on your own. I just don't want to get any type of trouble when it comes to that. So that'll have to be done on your own, or I can talk you through some of that. But I don't want to do any video or anything like that of Redstone. But neighborhoods, areas, we can do all that, and just reach out or click the link in the description, and we can get that set up. But like I said, Huntsville's a great place if you want to throw around the idea of moving here. We can definitely set up something. And but thank you for watching. Like I said, want to move here? Let's get started. Well, if you're thinking about moving to Huntsville but don't know where anything is or where you should live, well, this video right here is for you. Go ahead and click it. It's an in-depth overview of the Huntsville area and where everything's located, what's close to what, and you'll need to watch it if you're thinking about moving here. Go ahead, click it. Click it now. I'll see you over there.